And I'm sure you've heard of this loop puncher. If you haven't heard of it, it actually has been trending on social media. A lot of women recording videos talking about this loop puncher. And it turns out there are two. There are two loop punchers that have been documented as punching people across the city of Chicago, one being Derek Rucker, another being William Livingston. And at one point, we know Rucker was arrested on Tuesday after allegedly hitting a 23-year-old woman in the back of the head. This was at the Loyola Red Line station. He was then charged with 2 counts, apparently, of misdemeanor battery, and released with instructions to show up to court on October 30th. This is all coming from CWB Chicago. And according to them, was arrested 38 times and has 18 convictions. That's just that one person alone. We want to bring in Amanda Hayes. She's an alleged victim and had something similar to the woman I just described. Something similar happened to her, and I want her to have the opportunity to tell her story. First of all, we thank you for taking time out of your schedule and talking about this. I'm sure it's not easy to discuss. So Amanda, thank you for being with us, and walk us through what happened to you. What were the circumstances here?
Yeah, so I was commuting home from work around 5:20 on my way back, and I was taking the same route I take every day, the Brown Line stop at State and Lake, downtown in the Loop. And as I was scanning my phone at the scanner you use to enter the gate, I heard this man from the right corner behind me, and he said something like, "Get the like F out of my view." And then as I was turning, I saw his hand just coming back in full swing right into the right side of my ear. And I had headphones on, and it first hit the headphones, and my headphones kind of just flew right in front of the tracks. And then it just hit the side of my ear. And I was kind of locked because it was mid scanning into the where the gate turns. And I kind of just like fell forward, and there was a CTA worker right in front of me, basically. Like, she saw it all happen, and all she really said to the guy was like, "Hey guy, don't do that." And then no one around me. It was kind of just like people kind of just went on, like it like felt like it was just like a normal occurrence that a random guy with no like purpose just smacked the side of my head, like full swing.
What do you make of that? Because we have seen that where people decide that they're seeing the activity, they see something violent happen, they're afraid sometimes for their own lives, they don't interject. What do you think people should do in this circumstance if they're seeing something like this happen?
Well, I think it's hard because I mean, it came out of nowhere. Like, I don't know like what could have really been done to prevent this from happening because it was so unprovoked. But I think more kind of the sad part, I thought that after nobody was like, "Oh, are you okay?" Even like the worker didn't think to like call the police. It was kind of just like, "Don't do that." And as I'm like shaking, walking away, like tearing up, like, and nobody even like was like, "Are you okay?" Like, you just got like full on punched by a stranger.
I'm sorry that that happened to you. I know you did file a police report, and I do think this is noteworthy for our audience to understand. When this happens and people file a police report, if the person is caught in the action, caught like literally right there, here is part of the problem here. So this is a misdemeanor battery. It is not a detainable offense under Illinois law, right? So with the cashless bail system, it's starting to be more apparent that when something like this happens, people are allowed to walk and they get a court date. Previously, before the cashless bail system, a judge could have set a high bail amount to keep said person in custody. So we're seeing a lot of this happen over and over again. What is your response to that, knowing that information is out there and knowing that this person may not be the same person that punched you, but we know someone was arrested on Tuesday, released, and is now out there waiting into a court date? How do you feel just knowing that this can just keep happening over and over again?
I think it's so sad and like alarming. Like, last night I could like barely sleep thinking that like somebody could just be going out and doing this to other people. And that like there's not like appropriate action being taken against them. Like there people are just getting away with this. I feel like when I filed like my police report, it was kind of just like, oh, like it didn't really seem like it was a big deal. And I think there should definitely be bigger consequences because this is like a bad and big thing that's happening, and it's to be known as loop punchers walking around and that becoming like a normalized thing and almost as they're like getting fame being loop punchers is incredibly sad, and I think something really needs to be done to fix this.
And sickening at the same time. Let me ask you this before I let you go. Anything you would advise someone that's in this situation, if this happens to them, that they should do that maybe you didn't do at the time, maybe you didn't think about it, but maybe this would be your advice to someone that may find themselves in the same situation?
Yes. So for me, I saw videos that this was happening, but I feel like it's one of those things. It's like, oh, like that's not going to happen in the areas I'm in, or like that's not going to happen to me. And then it happens to you, and you're like, wow, this is a real thing. And for me, I think I was just in such utter shock that I kind of just like ran and I felt like embarrassed and like it was my fault. But I would say, like, I wish that like I would have like gone to people around me and been like, that guy, like, can we do something? Like, let's like, I wish I like could have like got him caught in that moment instead of kind of just like leaving because I was in so much shock. I just like didn't really process what was happening right away. But I think just know that this is happening and it can happen to you, and to be really cautious and like look around, and I guess just really like it's important to know your surroundings now.
Well, Amanda, I am so sorry that this happened to you, but I do appreciate your bravery coming forward, acknowledging that it did happen to you, and having the foresight to really help someone else that may find themselves in this situation. Thank you so much for being with us. And most importantly, stay safe out there.
Yes, thank you for having me. And I just want to really spread awareness on this. So thank you.
All right. We appreciate that awareness.